doing my PR is not exactly how I saw my life going. However, it's probably the most appropriate thing I can imagine happening at this point.
Which part of it is the least believable? Is it the court steps or is it the me doing the PR part?
No, no, no,
Because
no,
I
no,
have I
not,
have thoughts about that.
no, no, no. It's not that it's least believable. It's
Okay.
that I figured by the time I went to the federal penitentiary, you would have sold the story to ESPN. You'd be like an executive producer on the 30 for 30. Like I can see you out there being interviewed, talking about the rise and fall of Brian Ray. You representing me at that point is what's hard to imagine.
We talked last week about the pre-show. It's a lot more aggressive than people realize, than people see. I guess we decided to give the people a little bit of a taste just now.
Yeah,
What's
if you
going
missed that,
on?
start that over. That was aggressive.
Was that too much?
No, no, it was good. It was good. People, I don't think people. We have. Let me ask you this, Ben. We talk 1, 2 times, 3 times, 10 times a day, whatever it is, right? Okay. What percentage of our conversations does the word federal penitentiary, jail, locked up, getting the Snowden treatment, like how often does that come up in our conversations about ourselves? Obviously,
I feel like is this plead the fifth moment? Hold on, what's happening here?
it feels at
It's
least upward
it's
90%.
it's an inordinate amount, and I'd also like to point out that 10 times a day, which is the highest number that you said, still
Aggressive.
seems low.
Yes, low.
Low. Yeah, but no, that's neither here nor there.
So 90%.
Although,
This is phone
although
conversation, not.
I think we realize, I think we have dialed in that if there's a phone call after 6 p.m., like it's a very bad idea to answer the phone.
That's
We've confirmed that. Yes. No.
yes.
No.
That's
Yes.
yeah, oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. We have. Yes, we have.
Are we taking calls today?
The number's on. Turn the
Is
phone's
it?
on. The bat line's connected. Yes.
Okay, so you're finally on your game. I can actually update this with the phone number.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's the phone? What is the phone number, sir? Do we remember? 817 something something something.
I have no idea.
You don't know? That's
No,
not helpful.
I
It's
don't.
your
I don't,
phone number.
but I don't use it though.
That's not good. Well, call me on it right now.
I don't think I can do that. Okay, we're live. We're doing it live. Good night. What a production this show is.
It
Robert
really is.
Martinez will be in here momentarily, just wailing on us, talking about Whataburger or something.
I'd like to point out, by the way, that you'll notice that I'm in slightly new digs. You pointed out that I still have places to I still have issues. But my mother painted this, and so Mom, if you're watching, thank you. She's not watching, but thank you regardless.
Clyde's
Did you
here.
call me yet? You haven't called me yet. What the heck?
The last time I called you on a podcast, you got all bent out of shape. So, whatever.
Yeah, Clyde, I know. It is. So I'm not wrong though. It is 817. Something,
Yeah,
something,
it's in your phone. Check your phone.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. So 817-601-7031. Gonna go ahead and throw that up there. If you want to go ahead and call in and tell Ryan why he should have that memorized, because I don't know why he doesn't, please do.
Yeah, we can talk about roles and responsibilities in podcasting. We can talk about that. That's, of course, this isn't a podcast either, but that's the story. Clyde, it's good to see you back. It's good to see you back. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't take a lot of Team Ben today. I'm just not in the mood for that. Yeah, you can text the bat line too. The bat line has text. That's right. You can text the bat line. So
Ryan, you are we ready to announce? Are we ready to announce the fact that the Talking Head is coming to Midland, Texas? Is that? Are we
yes.
on air? Is that on
yes.
record?
Let's tell the people. The
What
week that you're in San Antonio.
What are we doing?
It's the week you're in San Antonio.
It is. That's helpful. Thank you for that. That's intentional, by the way, for anyone paying attention at home. It's not by accident.
I'm glad you decided to ask me on air because I hadn't told you that yet.
I don't even know why I tried. I don't even know. I don't even. Nope. Unbelievable.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know when I'm coming out. So I'm I'm coming out either the second or third week of November. It depends on when the beef is slaughtered and arrives from the processor. So that is when I will be out in Midland, Texas. But listen, we're doing a shack.
It will conveniently be when I'm not here, for some reason. Whatever.
That was so good. You took it hook, line, and sinker. Like, thank you, Claude. Thank you. I enjoy this podcast as well. So it would be nice if Ben would get your comments up so people could see them. But I appreciate you because we have folks on multiple streams. But whatever. I think Ben's actually like left the podcast. Oh yes, that's perfect.
This is my protest. This right here.
The green frog is Ben, in case it wasn't clear. Oh gracious! So Ben, what's going on, buddy? We hadn't talked in a while. How's things?
It's been long enough. I mean, it's been too long. I mean, it's been one of those.
How are things?
Clyde, you and me both. This is absolutely a highlight. This is absolutely a highlight of my Thursday, every Thursday. Notably, by the way, we do this every Thursday, Ryan. If you're paying attention, this is This is a weekly thing. Unbelievable.
I've been told.
So, what was the question? What did you ask me?
Let's how did your week, man? Let's get into it. The people are here. Clyde's here. It's good to see you, Clyde. Colin on the bat line. Love to talk to you. But how's your week been? It's Thursday. Tomorrow's the last day. Have you gotten any work done this week? You got any deals flowing? You got to do podcast studio. Do you feel productive?
Yes. Good to know that you noticed, and yes. So PBIOS, the Permian Basin International Oil Show, was last week, and it wasn't as, I guess I would say it wasn't as well attended as it is in normal years, but it was. I mean, it was still packed. To the point where, so for anyone familiar, it was out at the Ector County Coliseum, and it took me a good 20-25 minutes to find a place to park. It was packed, and so that was good to see. And it's been real busy since. I've had to be like social for a while, which thank you, which is rough, but it is. Yeah, so no, but it's been good, and a lot of the commentary or a lot of the talk was about that. Most years with oil and gas in Q4, things are winding down. People are sort of planning Q1. It's time to start planning Thanksgiving vacation or start getting ready to go on vacation or whatever. But this year, I think the next 2 months are going to be at a breakneck speed. I think that we've got a lot of things, not only from the energy market, from a power demand and infrastructure, from the ERCOT perspective, but also from a deal flow and the transactional. I think you're gonna continue to see some consolidation. And depending on sort of what signals that we see sort of getting into the late innings here going into the end of the year, if there's any real concern about tax implications or real shifts there, we may see some really interesting M&A activity. And so I'm sort of really just very interested to see. And then kind of coupling with that, one of the things I talked about, forget which podcast now, I don't think it was one of ours. I think I asked them one earlier today or maybe yesterday, what they're sort of in mind, the top end of the WTI price was going to be in the next 12 months. I'm curious, actually quickly before you respond to anything else there. Curious what your answer is there. So the next 12 months, what do you think? I mean, and even if it's for like 2 seconds on the radar, what do you think the top end of the range is going to be?
I don't know if we're still here or not. Ben cut out. We still here? We're here? No? Yes? No? I don't know if we're live. What is Ben's background? That's a great question. Brad, good to see you. Let's talk about that a second. Are you Ben? Are you here? Am I here? Can you hear me? I don't know. Love the painting. The painting's great, actually, by the way. Good point on that, Brad. The background is a little questionable. But if we're being honest, and we know Ben, we know that Ben's got questionable taste. And so the fact he went with a suspect background is, it's the least surprising thing about Ben, we know, right? And so it's good to see that I think, oh, hey, buddy, good to see you back. We're missing you.
I don't know what I missed, but
No.
but you missed some good stuff because I said some really important
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, Brad hears me. Good to know, Brad. So a couple things here. The top price, man, I hate making predictions because I never get them right. I'll say it's going to go to, what's it at right now? I even looked at it today. It's at WTI's at 83.16. I'll say 108.32. 108.32.
See, I was considerably higher than he was too. So I think, what did I say? I think it's like 137. I mean, I think it's gonna go like, I think we're gonna see a number.
It could, I mean, the only reason I'm suspect on the 137, 150. Now, if you're talking about for a flash second, that's possible. Obviously, we saw negative last year. So, but I just suspect that more. Well, let me ask you this: you said the next 12 months. That would have to happen in the first half of 2022, right? There's no way that happens at the end of 2022. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
because
true. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I'm not. Yeah, for a short blip, it's possible. The real question is, what's the lowest price in the next 12 months?
Yeah. No, I mean, realistically, I think the bet is in the next 6 months. I don't think it's happening on the back end of that bet.
What's your number, Brad? What's your number? What's your number? So what's the lowest we'll see in the next 12 months?
Have him call in. The number's right here.
You call in, big boy. Put your money where your mouth is.
817-601-7031. Let's go.
You can bet Ben all you want.
Hey, listen, bookie.
I'll hold the money.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben, I sent you, while we're waiting on Brad here, I sent you a link to our podcast, Bring the Closers. It is kind of, it's kind of taking a hit. We've had 14 people like it already. So that's pretty good for that show. So maybe you should share that in the feed for people to check out. 98.
So,
Brad's at 98. Ooh, I like that number. Okay, so the question, Brad,
I'll take the over. Let's go. I got money on the over.
If it's just the over of 98. Ooh. Okay, so what's the wager here? How much?
Pick a thing. I don't know. Pick
Wow. Pick a thing. Okay. So if it goes above 98, Brad has to pay me $100,000. If it doesn't, Ben has to pay me $100,000. Done.
Bradford. Well, I mean, there's reciprocity there but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'll cut you in.
No, like that, like the all the way across the board, like that was like a.
No, I'm like the innocent bystander. Someone's on the bat line here. Let's see who we got on the bat line. What wrong one?
Bradford.
See here, there we go. Who got the bat line?
Bradford.
Can you hear us? Hello. Oh, they hung up. Call back in. I don't know. I have the bat line muted because it plays through and it rings. So.
Some of us are professionals in this, and some of us aren't. It's okay.
98. Okay, so if it goes to 98.01, okay. Well, try back, Brad, later on. We'll put it back on mute. If it goes to 98.01, Brad pays me 100 G's. If it doesn't, Ben pays me 100 G's. I like that. That's a great deal. I'll be the arbiter of everything. I'll keep it on.
Hold on. What does Ben make if it's over 100 again?
Oh, I'll cut you in on my cut that Brad gives me. I'll give you a cut. I'll give you a little taste of that action. A little taste.
I don't.
What?
So I'm curious. I have a question for you. Am I? I'm allowed to ask you like whatever I want, right?
Yeah, always.
And you're gonna give me an honest answer.
This is don't want the facts.
That's true. That's true. Fair. Okay. Retraction. That last comment. Never mind. Um. So, true or false? Right now, in late October 2021, it is a good time to start a property management company.
True.
Would you like to expound on that? Would you like to tell us why you think that? Would you like to tell us any actionable activity that you
Yes, I
have
would.
made?
I would, but I've got to respond to Brad. Brad, I do think it will correct as well. That's why I put my target at 108. And I think the target for the high prices is the net
Oh,
first 6 months next year.
am
And
I just
so,
falling? Am I falling behind and just not paying attention to any of this?
yes, that's normal though. So yeah, so Brad, I do think it will correct itself. You could see a crazy spike, but at the end of the day, I suspect the price it can't stay that high for too long. I say it can't. I suspect it won't stay that high for that long. So, and we're gonna see here start and listen. This bet will be won or lost really in the next few months as we hear the drilling schedules for U.S. producers for Q1 of 2022. We're gonna know whether or not this is this is going to happen or not, right? So if you hear you're muted, Ben. So if you're talking to us, we can't hear you. But I don't know if you're supposed to talk to us or not. But anyways, um, if all the big oil and gas companies out of the Permian come out and say, "Hey, we're not going to be drilling, we're not going to increase productivity in the first half of Q1, I mean of Q1 2022," then you could see it get high. I just don't think that's going to be the case. I'm sorry, Ben. You were saying something really intelligent. You were just muted.
No, I wasn't saying anything. Don't. It's not definitely not important.
Oh, you were mouthing something. So whatever.
No.
Um,
I
so
was.
property management company. Yeah. So what about it, Ben? What do you want to know? We're taking over the world in property management, high voltage property management.
I was gonna say. So I happen to have gotten the not exclusive because I'm not that like I'm not in the inner circle apparently, but I was one of the first maybe to possibly like know by happenstance. Um, Tell us about it. What are you doing? What can people expect from high voltage property management?
I think the exact quote you got was, "I think I deserve better than to be told on LinkedIn." I think that's how you phrase it to me. I think that's how you phrase it to me.
Well, after hearing you read that back, Your Honor, I stand by that. Point.
Oh man. Oh man.
In moments like this transcript, that's
Ben, we're losing you again. You're probably getting on point. I can't imagine you're not. Yeah, so property management. Here's the thesis. I'm gonna let you in and all the listeners in on a little secret here. Your boy wants to buy. He's gone. I don't know if I'm still here or not. Your boy wants to buy real estate. That's the deal. I want to buy real estate. I want to. I'm getting actually get my real estate license. I've launched a property management firm, and so I am getting heavy into the real estate game. I think the opportunity is not there right now. There are some opportunities, obviously, um, as far as buying now, if you're strategic, but long term, I've wanted to be there for a while, and that's where I'm going. And so the property management firm is step one. Gets me houses under management. Houses under management kind of gets me into the a better sense of the rental market because I'm getting that data repetitively. Step two is to move to um, storage units. I want to manage storage units because I want to buy storage units. So that's my goal. If you listen, if you want to know more, shoot me a DM. If you just like Ben Samuels and you got buckets of money, then yeah, just send it my way. We can go ahead and get this deal expedited. We actually have a plan in place now to get some of these deals targeted early on. But what? What are you laughing at now? I'll stop. What? I'll stop.
nothing. Um, So okay,
What?
actually no. You touched on something really interesting because I've done some research. I think we've talked about it a bunch. I nerded out and built a model that I think you looked at and
Oh, no, 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 no. Let's define this. You sent me like a screenshot of a 75 line Excel thing that you took like 3 weeks out of your life to build, and you would never send me. Yes, I did see that.
okay. So this is all with the facts, but the
Sorry,
facts
sorry,
I believe
sorry,
the facts
sorry.
would bear out that I did in fact send it to you. But I guess this is don't let the facts.
I don't think you
We're
did.
not letting. I'm fairly confidently positive,
Just
100%
send
I
it.
have.
Just send it back then. Send it again.
No,
It's probably my
one time
R-Stroke
try.
Global email. Probably my R-Stroke Global
Anyways, so I totally nerded out on building out this self storage unit model that was like what Ryan said. I mean, I don't know if it was 75 pages, but it was absurd. It was a lot, or it is a lot of pages. Didn't ever actually end up doing anything with it because by the time I was starting to, that was sort of a Ryan. That was what, early COVID. I mean, that was late summer last
email.
year.
How, I thought it was even earlier than that. I thought it was 2019. Was it 2020? I thought it was 2019. You did that.
Oh, you know what? You might be right. That might have been 19. Yeah. So in that case, if it was 19, then at the end of 19, Source Rock went out and we acquired the acreage out there in the Permian, and so that's probably that'd be the reason that I didn't end up going doing anything with the storage space. But I think it's a really interesting market. It's one of those that there's, I'm curious what your read on the market is right now because I know that if you look 2 years ago, there was a ton of value in just acquiring a property and not even necessarily doing a ton of refurb, but just organizing the management of the property and increasing rates because they were under market and like there was arbitrage just in that alone. And I know that the market now is a lot tighter, and
Hmm.
this has obviously become a much more uh, you know a much more heavily contested market. But I'm
Hmm.
curious. So I guess the question out of all that is, what do you think at the current rate right now? I don't know if you're familiar with like the cap rates enough to talk about the actual market, but and if you are, love to hear about that. But I guess I'm more curious about what do you think are the like market differentiators in that space right now, outside of obviously just outside of terms. But what are the
Yeah.
other things?
Okay. So I spent, to Brad's point, 4 years ago. I talked to a guy the other day. He said 10 years ago was the last time he bought one. This is a seasoned veteran. And so his strategy was to build, right? And so he went through kind of a process that he determines that I probably shouldn't divulge on the show, but he determines how he goes about deciding when to build them and the different metrics and things he looks at. Um, and I think that's the first thing. The second thing is it's really hard for people like me, you, whomever, to think outside of where we live, right? So we talk about storage units. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, storage units everywhere. Well, I mean, okay, well, maybe that is where you live. That doesn't mean they actually are everywhere. And so that's the thing. Like, how do you be opportunistic? So for us, we want to get in, we want to manage them, to see where we think the value is. I went and looked at one last year, and someone told me what the guy was asking for it. I wasn't ready to buy. I was just curious what was going on. And I was like, "There's no way I'd ever pay for this." It was all wood. The inside was all wood. Like, have you ever seen that storage units that are all
Mm-hmm.
wood?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The ones I always see are metal. So they're all wood. And he wanted, I can't remember how much it was, but you did the math. It would take 10 years to even come close to paying back. And that's if they're all full. And it's like I don't know, 40-year-old unit. I'm like, that seems a little aggressive. Um,
Yeah.
right. And so building might be the better option, but getting in
Mm-hmm.
there, managing a bunch of them. The final thing, let's be honest here. We keep talking about the boomers retiring. That's not going away anytime soon. There's a lot of boomers that still got to retire. Being opportunistic in that market space is how you take advantage of some of those deals. So you are going to find some that will miss out their opportunity. Oh, hey, look at, oh, gracious, you're going to, it's my round down. Here we go. Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Anyways, so Brad, I do think sure great points, but you make money when you buy, not when you sell. You probably paying top dollar, and there's no margin. Yeah. So the thesis isn't necessarily to buy them outright. The thesis is to get into the business, which means part of what this guy was talking about was how to figure out where to develop them at. And so that would be part of what we're going to look at. So you have to take two things, right? So we want to understand how the management and how they're being valued internally from those companies, and then on the flip side, then that helps us get a better sense of where we can go find opportunities kind of like he was describing to us as well. Now, as far as buying them, if we could buy some that are already ready made, that's great. Now here in Granbury, where I live, I can't imagine buying one because they're all full. Like literally, they're all full. I don't know what situation in Midland is, but you can't find one. When we moved in June, we were calling. Haley was calling like every day trying to find one. So there's no way I'd buy one in Granbury right now because you're going to pay a stupid amount. Will that be the same case in 2 to 3, 4 years? I don't know, maybe because they're going to overbuild at some point, right? They're probably going to overbuild, and the value's going to come back down.
So I don't know, and I guess I still don't know because I never ended up figuring out, if this was just the place doing this because they can, or if this was actually true market. But I got a storage unit for some stuff. Let's see, in August, something like that. Like July maybe, something like that. And since July, my rent has in a 10 by, I think it's a 10 by 20 unit, has tripled.
Yeah. Yeah. And so to Brad's point, if they don't, let's say that if they don't, the prices don't come down on them. So what? I make money on I make money on the property management business as well, right? So that's also part of the thesis is that you make money on the business as well. So you're getting in. You should have the best information on the business. You make money on the business, and then when you go to buy or build, you should have the numbers ready to roll. And if the numbers don't work, they don't work. But the business itself is self-sustaining, and so that's the beauty of it. Virtualinvestmentroom.com. This is where Ben Samuels gets all of his investing ideas. It's a little dated. It was built on AOL Messenger. DOS. Commodore 64 built it.
It was built in the game Snake.
Hey, do you know you can download Snake for your phone?
Yes, and actually I have, and it's pretty badass.
All right.
Actually, the hoodie is actually a good throwback. It feels comfortable. It's like I feel like the right season. I feel like I got the color down. It feels good.
Good to see you, Brad.
Ryan, also, by the way, I'll point out that when you look at my profile picture, here, let me throw it up for people to as reference. So you look at this thing right here, and like you look at this, it's like very similar. If you look at your LinkedIn profile, you're I think you're in a suit.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should do. I think next time we need to see the full garb.
Well, yeah, not gonna happen. When you become an ambassador, Samuels, I'll put the suit on.
Wow.
What?
Nothing.
The person in the picture is an ambassador. The person in the picture is an ambassador. Are you an ambassador? It's not a podcast. That's false advertising. Can I sue?
It is a podcast. Wait, is it not a podcast?
Can you download that on your phone? Did you make it a podcast? Really?
Did I?
Wow.
Let me look this up. I don't. Wait, did I?
No, hold please.
No, I don't think I did. Now that I think about it, I don't know. It's one of the two. It's either I did or I didn't.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Maybe.
I don't know. What is he amen in? You being an ambassador or me wearing a suit?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, good. So.
So
Ben, are you going to send me your model? Because I think that's my Marshall Global email, and I've lost that obviously since I sold the company. It would be in there if you sent it to me.
Is this like a 90-10 type deal, or what are we talking? Let's negotiate it on air. Let's go. We've talked a lot about like pretending negotiate and like what are the tips? Like let's negotiate. So okay, so I have a model.
Both. Yeah. Ben as an ambassador would be. at the beginning of the show, let's put it like this: we're talking about me being in federal penitentiary. Ben is an ambassador; he's in the pen, and I'm on the court steps. That's just. Actually, no. I would probably I'd probably still be in jail. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's because he'd be funneling me the deals. He'd turn me to the feds. He'd turn state witness. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Same story, just different script. Sorry. Yes.
That devolved quickly. So back to the question at hand.
How much money has this spreadsheet made you, Ben?
Well, at current zero because I haven't bought a single storage unit.
I'll pay you 10% of all revenue earned to date, or 90%. You pick.
How about you give me a 8.25% override on 48 months of revenue?
8.25% override on 48. Ben does like being by himself. Thank you, Brad. Thank you for pointing that out.
That's very
Thank
true.
You.
No,
Thank you.
That is
Thank
absolutely
you.
100%.
But if you don't, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, no, I'm not that interested in it. But thank you for the offer. I thought, because I can get it free. You can get to me for free. We're friends. That's what we do. We help each other out.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
I literally was offering to sell your services for your company an hour ago.
That's not an inaccurate statement. I can't even deny that. That is true. That did happen. That did happen. What are we talking about today? We haven't even gotten into it yet.
I don't know. My personal. Oh, gracious. The infrastructure bill. I'm curious your thoughts on this. Do you go through and parse bills like this out and try to figure out how to make money off of them? Or do you just, if something lands in your lap, you take it?
So that's a great question. I mean, I think the short answer to that is that at current, I've got enough on my plate with enough projects that I've bitten off already that I really can't afford the time to go launch a new business or go do some whole new venture. And so I know there's some reciprocity with that feeling. As was very firmly announced at a prior juncture that doesn't need to be rehashed. Not important, Ryan. You can go back on mute.
I like he said venture. Just to be clear, but go ahead.
No, that was that. I just wanted to get there. That was it. That's all I got.
Yeah, but I mean, historically, have you? Because I've never done that. I've never looked at the bills for that.
Oh,
but I know people who do, and they make a lot of money doing that.
No. I mean, what I was going to say is right now I've got enough that I'm focused on that I haven't really looked at those in ways to arbitrage other than I've got a real acute eye for anything revolving around 45Q or any of the things that would have a direct impact in some of the things that I am working on. But no, I have not parsed the infrastructure bill out in total.
I've got a 45Q guy for you.
Although. Well, no, I mean some regulation around actual clarity on what it actually means.
Yeah, well, now you're wanting the facts, so.
Well, it seems relevant.
You would think it's important. But it's not,
right? Wait, hold on. So real quick, I think Brad has probably left the building already, but is being with me Brad's personal hell, or is being with himself Brad's personal hell?
Yes. Wait, you muted me? Oh, he muted himself. There's a feedback loop on Ben's side I keep hearing, so I thought he muted me. Benson. Yeah, I don't know. I met a guy the other day, and that's what he does. He goes around and he knows how to read those bills and stuff. To me, that's just a tough way. That's just a tough way to go. I'm sure there's a lot of money to be made, but it's just this is a tough way to make it.
I bet somebody like Mark Rosano or someone like that, or DRW. I bet those guys do.
Are you kidding me? DRW is sitting up at night drinking copious amounts of coffee, just waiting on that bill to come out. He will be the only person in America to read it. twice.
Inclusive of the government, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Orsano will read it once. DRW will read it twice.
What about you? Do you?
No, heavens no. I don't read those bills. No.
You just rely on people like Mark to tell you what to say? That was too aggressive.
I prefer Sean Hannity or Rich Maddow, but whatever.
Wow.
Whatever. You were reading her book. Don't get me started.
Did I ever? I don't think I ended up finishing it.
I've got it too, so I can't say much. Listen, this is not the facts. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember the joke on this show. This is the joke.
Have you read it yet?
No, heavens no. That would require work.
No, never mind. Touche. Just kidding.
Were you talking about the Red Sox yet or not?
No. We're definitely not talking about the Red Sox now that they're out of the playoffs. When I tried to talk about them for like the last 2 months and you punted all of those, absolutely not. The Saints got Mark Ingram. How do we feel about that? I feel like that's a good get.
Hold on.
What now?
Oh, this is going to be great. I just sent an email to a support person, and I've got a screenshot of talking about a stripper well. I said that instead of the right one. There's no chance that they're going to know that a stripper well.
Good job.
No chance that they're going to know.
Well played. Well played, sir. Well done.
Oh, gracious.
Good job. Nope. No, I'm sending that one.
And here's the worst part of the screenshot. Here's the worst part. It's not like it's in depth. It says, tell me more. R.E. Stripper well is about to change. Like, it's just, there's just.
Oh, yeah, the stripper well is about to change. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Well, if I'm Ben from Substack, you now know what happened.
Wait, who is from what? What's
Nothing. That was.
You are right, by the way. My hair does look like.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was that on this show or was that on the previous one? Now I don't even remember.
It was the last one we recorded. So let's talk about the Red Sox, though, because I think the people need to help me out here. Ben and I both were not very optimistic on the season. He was more optimistic than me, but neither one of us had them making the playoffs.
For those playing the playback, by the way, it was an 18-game difference from 76 to 58. Continue.
We both had them not make the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
That is true. That is accurate.
You were more optimistic than I was, but we both had them missing the playoffs. And they made the playoffs.
Yes.
For me, that was like a win. They made the playoffs. Okay, nothing can go wrong now. Ben then proceeds to tell me that they're going to win the World Series multiple times. I'm pretty sure in baseball that's a jinx. It's something you don't do. And of course, the Red Sox lost to the Stros. So I feel like Ben owes Red Sox Nation an apology. I'll rest my case now.
Your Honor, that was an interesting monologue by the other guy. I'd like to present Exhibit A, evidence, the thing above his head, which says, "Don't let the facts." I rest my case, Your Honor. Thank you. What?
Oh, why are you the way that you are? When are we going
to... I have cause.
Oh, yes.
I have cause.
Hey, can we talk about Facebook for a second?
Sure.
Like, is that over? Is Facebook done?
I hope so. It's interesting. I mean, so I don't know what you're talking about specifically, but I mean, for a while now, their demographic has been getting, going towards like, the grandmothers, which is fine. But obviously not profitable for the company, and so I know that Facebook, I read recently, has been talking about rebranding under a completely different name, maybe spinning off some sort of ancillary services to arbitrage back into that preteen teen market that Instagram and Snapchat have really taken over in the last few years. But I mean, Facebook as is, it's fascinating because like revenue wise, company wise, like balance sheet, it's a strong company. There's some good stuff going on, but but narrative story, what's going on and sort of their trajectory. It's not a pretty picture. And also it's an ever more competitive space, and so I don't really know what the pivot is. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I think it shows the power of Twitter, because Twitter talks about, like, Twitter drives the narrative of the news. Twitter is far worse than anything Facebook ever thought about being. And the fact that Twitter can pound on Facebook all day and all night about how bad it is hilarious. Hilarious. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. The opposite side of you is far worse. Is prolific on Twitter, and so it's just hilarious that's the thing. Like that Facebook gets the bad rap when I don't use Facebook that much. Occasionally, I post on there for this, that, or the other. It's a functional platform. It's fine. But it's I don't know how we got into a spot to where Twitter can just run with immunity across the world. It's like, really, Twitter? Like, Twitter's a cesspool of just. I mean, and real quick, I am refocusing my Twitter platform right now. So I'm taking all of my political stuff, I'm unfollowing, and I'm retargeting into the things that make me happy. So there we go.
Wait. Are you trolling me right now, or are you serious?
Dead serious.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute Ryan here for a second. So like a long time ago, I don't even know, a long time ago, Ryan and I, like, we were talking politics a lot, and it was the time during Trump was acting a fool. I don't know. He was being, oh, I guess he was being Trump. No, Ryan, I'll let you simmer on that as I do this. And I just got exhausted from hearing the daily, like, this is what this person said and this is what this person said, and I spent like a long time, I don't know, a few weeks, trying to pound on Ryan, like, hey, why don't we talk about things that like make us happy, and why don't we focus on like the good in the world, and why don't you like not make me want to like jump off a bridge every single day, and his response and retort was, and rightly so to a degree, was, no, we need to be informed about these things, we need to talk about them, they're interesting, whatever, and now, boy, how the turns have tabled.
First, Brad, I actually haven't seen the depositions for the Cuomo thing, so I don't know. But are we surprised? Okay, are we surprised? No. Secondly, Ben, you changed your camera angle. You're messing with me. Third thing, well, at the time in my life, I was trying to run a geopolitical newsletter, so it was very relevant to what I was doing. And then I realized, trying to have a nuanced, relative perspective in that field, which I had. You tried to warn me. Was a wasted effort. And so, yeah.
You know what? You know how sometimes you wonder like how a cliche like came to be a cliche? It's because like the things that the cliche talks about just continue to blinking happen, and like eventually there's a saying that comes out of those. This one, like, leading a horse to water and not drowning it comes to mind, or something.
Not drowning it. Oh, if Trump comes back, I will get back into political commentary just so I can harass Ben about it daily.
So let's talk about that actually, because so let me preface anything. Since I'm launching into the subject, I get first word, which is nice here. Over what we have currently, I hesitate to say welcome, but I would be intrigued by going back to what we had prior. Very intrigued. We certainly need a different option. I don't know. But so here's my question to you, because we clearly need someone on the right side, pun intended. I'm not sure that I wouldn't tell you that I think for the health of the country that DeSantis isn't a better candidate?
Well, first off, let's talk about what it would look like if Trump was still in office. The Democrats would actively, worse than they are now, be trying to sabotage things to make
Oh,
Trump look bad, right?
absolutely. Oh,
So, so,
absolutely.
right. So it's one of those things like, well, could Trump do better? Well, probably,
Oh, I mean,
probably,
like,
but go ahead.
no, as you said, I mean, he'd be on his like fourth impeachment by now.
That's aggressively low. That's aggressively low. But yes,
Well, two a year is about right. I mean,
that's his pace, but whatever. I
he
don't think
is. I think that's indisputable. Is that not?
he's a big Janet Yellen fan, but whatever. And
Who,
so
Joe Biden? Yeah, he is.
you,
You're right.
Vince Samuels, but
That's inaccurate.
so I don't know.
I have a lot of tape that disputes that.
But what could Trump do? Whatever Trump would be doing, the Democrats would be. So vaccine passports, they'd be probably more prevalent, right? Restrictions and workflow disruptions, like a lot of that stuff would be a lot more prevalent. And oh, by the way, remember the Republicans spent all that money last year, so let's not act like the spending and inflation wouldn't be a problem this year. So
Oh yeah.
I think this kind of misnomer about, oh, well, mean tweets are gone. Okay, mean tweets are gone, sure, but would Trump do exponentially better? I don't know, because a lot of things we're reacting to now were created under his administration.
We've talked about this to a degree, and I don't know. And maybe this is somewhat hindsight, but and you tell me. But so if you look at what Trump and his administration actually did, and I mean actually accomplished, and you look at the energy industry, what are some of like the macro things that his administration and not things that he like got to take credit for, that to your point would have been sort of catalyst or catalyzed during Obama or even prior. What are some things that Trump actually did and accomplished for the energy industry in his 4 years?
Okay, so go back to the federal lands, right? He opened those up more, if I remember correctly. He also
But so hold on. So let's go one by one if you don't mind. So okay. So on that one, he absolutely did. You're absolutely right. But I don't necessarily give presidents tons of credit for those sort of unilateral decisions that can be just as easily erased in the next presidency or the next changeover in power. Because what did Biden do in his first day in office? Is he reversed a lot of that. And so while Trump did that, that's not a lasting legacy thing. That's a blip on the radar. Hey, I'm doing something for a couple of seconds. Ryan, I don't know if you can still hear us. Video went down, but are you there? Audio?
yeah, I thought someone at the front door. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Well, okay. In that case, that's okay. If you're talking about pure executive orders, then yes, I agree. But in that case, I think that department is managed by the executive office, and so there's not really a better way to handle that, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. So something like that, I don't necessarily think that
they got rid of the EPA sue and settle model as well, which kind of didn't get covered enough. They got rid of the waters and whatever the water program under the Obama administration. Now, problem is a lot of those we only got.
But so the water program. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, what were you saying?
But the problem is that a lot of stuff that the president can do can be redone. What you're saying, and so it's kind of hard to manage it. Now, the tax cuts and stuff, I don't know. You probably know the tax cut stuff better than me. The methane emission stuff. Now, again, a lot of that stuff can be redone, but we've ceded so much power to the POTUS. It's kind of hard to.
But those are all I mean, even if those were things that happened, I mean, those are all relatively micro. I mean, so I guess my point is there was no real macro wins for the energy industry under Trump. Arguably, the industry didn't really have a great 4 years. Well, generally, I guess the energy industry does better under Democrats, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, the third year was a total loss.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. I mean, not the third year, the fourth year. Sorry, the last year was a total loss. Yeah. And I think the other thing is that, when he came in, part of the problem is you have investment looking for reasons to leave the industry. Him having low prices combined with the fact the industry has mismanaged itself really kind of put the industry in a bad spot regardless. If he comes in, let's say, from 2008 to 2012, just pick a year, some of the things that he did probably would have worked out a little bit better because we've been earlier in the show revolution, but where we're at now, it's kind of tough.
So, assuming the same kind of trajectory and same story, I mean, come primary time, DeSantis or Trump?
I'm not voting for either, so you're asking the wrong person.
No, who's the better candidate for that side of the ticket?
I don't know. It depends on who you talk to in Florida about DeSantis, right? So when I've talked to people in Florida who I would consider to be kind of true historic conservatives or libertarian types, they're not overly impressed with DeSantis, just like many folks in Texas aren't with Abbott. But when you get outside the state, everyone's like, oh, look at Abbott, look at Abbott. It's like, well, I mean, he got that barber arrested in Dallas. So I'm not sure what DeSantis, I don't follow Florida politics enough to say how much is he doing is actually really good versus how much is it just being perceived as good.
Agree or disagree, if Trump were president, we can all see the writing on the wall that nothing would happen because, to your point, the Democrats would absolutely stall him out. He would get nothing accomplished. The only way that anything would happen would be absolutely just ramming things through. It would cause an immense amount of stress on political discourse, etc., to the point that a different candidate may be a better alternative to a really strong degree.
Yeah,
Those where my concerns lie. It's not really. I mean, it's not his policies or anything else. It's the other. It's sort of the fallout from what the Democratic. What are the Democrats going to react? How are the Democrats going to react to him getting reelected? Play that through.
Well, they're going to be crazy. So there's that for sure.
They're going to go apoplectic, right?
Yes, they're going to go crazy for sure. So.
Well, if he keeps telling people not to vote, he's not going to get a chance.
Trump will help take back both houses, then run again. I don't think he's running again. I really don't. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's running again.
You really don't think so? All right, live on air. What is it? October 27th, 28th, Thursday, 2021. Friendly wager, I suppose, because this is 2024, so neither one of us are going to remember this.
No, I remember it. I'm on it. He's not running until he actually. I mean, let me clarify.
So you're taking the side of the bet that until he announces that he's running, you don't think he's running?
I'm taking the side of the bet until he runs an active campaign, not like he's submitted the paperwork, like he is actually out there, like he was in 2020, like he was in 2016. Not he filled out a $100 form to say he's running. Like he actually is campaigning serious that he's running. He might hold these little rallies forever because that's what he does. But until he's like hardcore campaigning, I won't.
Are you running for governor or what?
If I could get some funding, I would dominate the governorship or whatever. Whatever. It's just a thing.
How much does one need?
What, 100 million probably?
What?
I mean, what do you think it takes to run for governor in Texas? It's gotta be like 100 million, huh?
It's $100 million to pay. I mean, to win
to buy. Buy is the word you're looking for. To buy. When's the last time Abbott ran? 2016, 2018?
Don't say things like that on air.
What? Well,
nothing.
I said the word buy.
No.
Is that
no.
What?
No. Nothing. I can't even bring myself to say it.
You
anyone
can.
Caught it on air.
Will.
If anyone caught it, you can go ahead and put it in the comments. I'm not saying it. Ryan, go ahead.
What'd I say? Did I say something?
Yeah.
What'd I say? I don't even know now. I'm so confused.
Nothing. Keep going.
I'm not saying another word. I gotta go. Actually, it's time for my call. So.
Oh yeah, it is time. All right. So it's been nice. It's been fun. Music is the cue. We're out. Have a great weekend, y'all. Ryan, stick around for 1 second.
Yep. See y'all next week.